to Bilal Coulibaly. 18 points. Dude, this guy fucking looks legit. I made a video saying that like the Wizards need like at the very least this guy's floor is all defensive potential. The ceiling is we could really have a guy who could follow the same footsteps as Jaylen Brown. Doesn't have much of a half court offense slash ball handling, but it shows natural touch from three, but isn't a consistent shooter. If he figures that all out, he could like slowly year by year be a guy who like chips away at ice like Jaylen Brown. What are your thoughts on that? I actually felt really proud about my like Jaylen Brown. I mean, different athletes, but similar style. They come in defensive first athlete guys.
Bilal is a total off-ball player right now, but I think in the sense of like the handle and like the creation for others being the key growth points, Jaylen Brown is a pretty good comp.
Yeah, and it's like how Jaylen Brown, every single year he got better. Like the first year they were like, hey, you're going to play because you're a really good defender and you can kind of play off ball. And we're just going to like, tell you to highlight those, just to keep working on that this season. And then the off season, work on the ball handling. And like every year, Jaylen Brown got better at ball handling. And what did that lead to? Him being able to create a little bit for himself more and more. And I think if they can do that, just slowly spoonful, like what is called slowly feed Bilal spoonful at a time. I feel like I'm saying this wrong, but like spoon feed. Sorry, thank you. Spoon feed. Thank you. We need a spoon feed Bilal Coulibaly, similar to how the Boston Celtics were able to spoon feed Jaylen Brown offense.
Well, and even how the Pacers rookie year spoon-fed Paul George, who was not the shooter or creator.
That's a great point. I forgot about like Paul George when he came out. He was just kind of like a defensive like energy guy, really in the same vein of Bilal. Just like he was just on a better. Both the only difference is that Bilal's on a way worse team than both the Pacers and Celtics were when George and Brown.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Bilal can be as fluid as PG became with his frame, because he kind of has more like gangly, skinny frame to me, which will help his defensive repertoire. But
I think his athleticism is more Terrence Ross than Jaylen Brown. You know what I mean? Because you said that lankiness. I think Jaylen Brown's more of a power athlete.
Yes, and Paul George really has a very like thick power
yeah,
frame as well.
That's why I think he's more. I think Bilal's in that Terrence Ross, Shaedon Sharpe athleticism tree. Does that make sense? Where they're like I think Bilal is probably closer to Terrence Ross. I mean, I think he's in there where they're like more fluid. They don't look like they're never gonna be the thickest boys on the block, but like they're gonna be like same thing with Andrew Wiggins. I think Bilal's in that Andrew Wiggins, Shaedon Sharpe, Terrence Ross athleticism where like people forget fucking Andrew Wiggins is like one of the most, or I don't know if he still has it, but when he came out into the NBA, he's probably like one of the most athletic people in the league.
Yeah, well, shit, the Andrew Wiggins dunk compilation is excellent. That dude is still pretty bouncy.
Yeah, so I think Bilal has very similar athleticism to Andrew Wiggins. I think I'm gonna compare it to that. I still think Andrew is way more like Kansas. Andrew Wiggins is a fucking.
And you're talking in terms of pure athleticism.
Just pure athleticism. Like the style of athleticism is more what I'm talking about. Like we're comparing him to Jaylen Brown. Bilal's not a Jaylen Brown, Paul George athlete. He's more of an Andrew Wiggins, Terrence Ross athlete, is what I'm saying.
Would you say that he is also? I'm trying to think of other athletic comps. I think he even like has somewhat like Jaden McDaniels movement upside. I don't know if his foot speed is like that though. Like that's kind of how I really would envision.
I thought
awesome
Bilal's Coulibaly's foot speed is like that. That's why I'm giving him this credit. He's like on the open court, like only De'Aaron Fox and a handful of guys are probably faster than Bilal Coulibaly.
But the athletic body types you're naming a second guard dudes that like can't really defend. Like Wiggins is now able to defend.
Is now able or not able?
Is now able. But like Shaedon Sharpe and Terrence Ross, they didn't have foot speed to be defenders.
Well, what's it called? That's just because of their style of play. But like historically, Shaedon Sharpe and Terrence Ross have the same body. I mean, Terrence Ross, Shaedon Sharpe, Andrew Wiggins all have the Wesley Johnson body archetype, is what I say. Is they're these 6'7" lanky wings, and that they come into the NBA as like athletes or defensive guys, depending on like what their upbringing was. And literally, if you read all their scouting profiles, they will say this: defensive potential is there because of their length and athleticism. All of them will get that. And the only one, like Wiggins figured it out, Wesley Johnson figured it out later in his career. And Shaden Sharp, if you look at his scouting reports, it's saying like the defensive effort is not there, but with his length and athleticism, he has the skill sets to be a high level defender. Likewise, Terrence Ross. So I think that's more of a mindset thing. But yeah, no, I think Jaden McDaniels was a good comparison. I just think Jaden's a little bigger. I think Jaden's 6'10".
Yeah.
So I was more getting at the 6'7" guys, you know what I mean? Because it's this 6'7" frame where you have long ass arms. Like Wesley Johnson's another great comparison. I feel like I fucking forgot about Wesley.
Yeah, those more wing prototypes are better examples, better comparisons for both.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's where we're with Bilal is like where I see it is like he's either gonna if he doesn't figure it out offensively, like this guy has all defense. Like I don't even care. Like if he doesn't figure out how to score regularly or dribble, the guy's gonna be like all defense. That's like how good he can be. But if he figures offensively, he could literally be like OG Anunoby. That's another OG Anunoby, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
That's another one. OG Anunoby is like kind of what he could become.
Yeah, that might even be my favorite.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think if he figures out how to dribble, it's like the dream would be that he becomes Jaylen Brown. Like that's fucking all NBA. But like realistically, he's the third option on a championship team like OG Anunoby, being the defensive maestro while also being like a third option scoring. What do you think of that one, Jackson? After our whole little fucking debate, me and Henry right there trying to figure out a good comp for Bilal.
I'm not gonna watch a Wizards game this year. I'm not the guy to ask.
We're just trying to lose as many games to get Alexander Sarr.
He would be a great fit on this current Wizards.
I know. Someone commented that on my YouTube video last night, and I was like, oh, what a good fucking comp.
Good take.
Good take, yeah.
Cyro YouTube commenters.
Okay, Jackson, you choose